Let's do this.
Ready, set, let's go, let it go!
So I wanted to tell you about this trip that I went to a community north of Yellowknife, Northwest Territories called Wekweètì. It's a Tlicho community. I was at Alexis Arrowmaker School, really cool. The minute I walked in, everybody's there, staff or students are all in the common area. They're starting the day in Tlicho. Singing "O Canada" in Tlicho.
Wekweètì, O Canada,
The process of being able to be creative, it's the kind of thing that you can't learn any other way other than doing it. And what it really boils down to is helping students see their own unique gifts and talents and abilities and how they are similar and different from those who are around them. For instance, if we're doing a multimedia project like we were here, some people love being on camera, they love acting. Other people would hate being on camera, but they would love being behind it, operating the camera, running the gimbal, running a GoPro. Another thing we were doing over the 4 days was really trying to capture life at Alexis Arrowmaker. What is it like? What opportunities do the students have? So it's like everything from them in class on iPads to somebody was entering a baking challenge, so they were in the kitchen. They're doing things like the daily mile where every student has to get 2,000 steps a day in 15 minutes. So we wanted to capture salsa dance. And soccer practice and just all the different things that make life there. And then at the same time I asked the high school students, what would you guys like to do? And of course they want to make a horror movie. Which is great in the sense that, okay, so what's the story going to be? We don't have time for costumes and props, and we don't have a budget for that. We have to be able to like use our imagination, recognize what are the parameters in the story that we want to tell, how are we going to tell that, how much time is it going to take, who's going to run the camera. Just the collaborative process of coming together and then editing it is you really do get to discover what you're good at. When you discover what you're good at and you really are able to play to that strength, of course you're gonna win. More often than not, you're gonna win and you're gonna feel confident. And when we feel confident, we're able to be generous and encourage and support those who are around us. Instead of like when we recognize that somebody's gifted differently, instead of being threatened by that or feeling like their success somehow comes at our expense, we're able to celebrate that because we realize we all need to work together to be able to do that. We don't really realize how we are amazing. Well, anybody could have come up with that idea. No, everybody couldn't have come up with that idea. You came up with that idea because that's the way you see the world. And it's your gifts and talents and abilities and education and experience that inform the way you look at the world. And that is an empowering experience for anybody of any age. So I love coming into schools. I love giving students the opportunity to discover how they're amazing, how those who are around them are amazing, and then how our differences and our strengths work together to let us tell a story. Could be a funny story, it could be a horror story, it could be a what's going on in our school, it could be how do we sing the national anthem, it could be any story at all. But when you have this opportunity to play to your strength and to work with those who are around you in a creative way, it's life-changing. If you work with students, either in school or in after-school clubs or at a community level, if you're trying to address things like racism and bullying and bigotry and all of those types of social issues, many of them come from a lack of understanding and respect for this very thing. And you might want to just drop me an email. I'll put that information below this video, because these are the very types of creative productions that really address that really empower youth in communities. And you know what? You take this experience away and you can apply it to telling any other story. The story of your community, of your elders, of anything that's going on. So it's so valuable, it's so fun, it's so engaging. I wanted to share some of these little bits and clips with you because it was a fantastic trip. I hope you're having a great day and we'll talk to you soon.
Ready, set, let's go.